Okay, just to confirm, I hope everyone can hear me well. I think it's good if we start. I'm going to uh, give the focus to our presentation slides. First of all, thanks to everyone for joining our webinar about AI and the website visibility for AIs. Plus, of course, we are going to tell you what you need to do to make sure that the website is always visible for AI search engines. So my name is Shahab. I'm a SEO and AEO expert in Let's Design for You team. And I'm very passionate about the gap between traditional SEO and the way that AI optimization comes to place nowadays. So that is why, extended with my experience in traditional SEO and all other digital marketing platforms, we started to focus for the past 3 years on AI optimization and what we call as a AEO or stands for Answer Engine Optimization. What we are going to talk about today is basically we are going to discuss how AI is going to change website visibility. Okay. We have to understand, first of all, what we are saying when we are talking about SEO, when we are talking about AEO, and when we are talking about GEO. These are different terminology, which stands for different services, which stands for basically different visibility point of view when it comes to your website being available online for people who are looking for different services in many various industries. So the main important part that we have to understand is that search is no longer limited to Google. When we say Google, of course, we mean Yahoo, we mean Microsoft Bing. So all of these counted as search engines, we have to understand that the search is not limited to these platforms anymore. Once we started to work with AI agents like ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot, Claude, or any other AI platforms, which they are also helping users to find answers, they are expecting to find a very detailed and some useful information which can be provided as an answer to the question for people and visitors who are searching online for different keywords, for different services, products, and basically all the search algorithm is going to be different. Currently, mobile users, more than 60% of them have been switched from searching on Google platforms to just ask AI applications that they have on their phone. And in general, more than 35% of online internet users, they are forced by using AI search engines because when major search engine providers like Google have introduced Google AI, that was a time that it was basically moving forward a new era in search engines. And that is how number of people exceeding every day this percentage moving forward to make sure that they are using AI accordingly because we want it or no, it's going to replace the traditional search engines. Then, if I want to talk about this specific terminology, we have to say we have to understand three items: SEO, AEO, and GEO. I assume most of us, we already know what is SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization, which is a very traditional way of competing for business providers, for business owners, service providers, for all of those websites and businesses who appear online. They are competing against each other in the same industry, inside the same neighborhood, and what we call as a local area, to be sure that they are more visible to the people or to the clients who are searching for their offered services online. That is what we call as a search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is focused mostly on organic growth for all of these websites and business owners. And what we have to understand now is a different terms called as AEO, or answer engine optimization, called GEO, which is generative engine optimization. And of course, we have to understand AI friendly content, because we are no longer talking about customers or clients friendly content, but we are talking about AI friendly content. So there are many practical steps to improve your visibility online, but the first initial steps would consider the fact that, are you even visible? If you are having visibility on what we call as AI search engines, then that would be the time we can say you have to focus on practical steps to improve this AI visibility. When we were talking about SEO before, we were talking about Google ranking. We were talking about referrals, which comes from different providers on Google's, and we were talking about directory listing, which was a third-party kind of services that was supported by Google, improving people's websites, organic growth and ratings. But now that is not enough for AI engines. So we have to understand nowadays, for the past 2 to 3 years, as much as AEO and GEO is going to get more majority of people's working with them, many businesses are invisible in all AI answers. So others, which they are not invisible, they are mentioned, but they might get mentions or cited in AI search engines, which is inaccurate, or there are not so many key strengths provided. And there are many of these businesses have been losing clients to their competitors, because their competitors are those that they are more, we can say they are more optimized when it comes to AI search engine. And those are the one that they are grabbing big chunk of clients out there, compared to those that they don't have any visibility on AI engines, or they have it but they are not providing enough information or accurate information. We will talk forward about these kind of terms when we are saying AEO, when we are saying GEO, when we are saying practical steps, when we are saying accurate information. I'm going to cover all those information for you today. So if I go to the next slide, we have to understand, first of all, what is website visibility in today terms. So traditional visibility, as we discussed, was focusing on rankings, organic traffic, and keywords. But modern visibility, they are working with search rankings, they are working with AI citations, they are working with brand mentions, they are working with knowledge graphic presence, and of course, they are working with entity recognitions. So the big question here for every business owner out there who has an online website provided to the internet is, does AI even know your business exists? Because if it does not, as I explained to you, you're losing 60 plus percentage of clients who are using mobile applications, or you're using more than 35% of the internet users who are using desktop applications. And this number, believe me, is going to increase. So many businesses who they come to us and they brought this concern about being visible to AI, the first thing that they always, we can say, complain about is that they look at their analytics report and they are seeing they have a very stable ranking when it comes to search engine optimization. They have very stable impressions for their brands and everything, for their keywords, for their ranking that they are facing on different analytics tools, but they are having a very lower clicks ratio. So traffic patterns are changing. Visibility, we cannot say for sure it's going to guarantee clicks for you anymore, because you, don't get me wrong, you need to have a stable ranking, you need to have a stable impressions, you have to be visible, but this visibility on search engines for your SEO is not going to be enough, and it cannot guarantee any clicks for you anymore. Because as I was explaining to you, AI engines are providing detailed answer to people who are searching for different services, who are searching for different platforms, products, and even different markets. So uh, knowing these answers have been generated by AI made the client's job much easier to find what they are looking for specifically, rather than visiting your website as one of the top 10 results, for example, on Google, and find the answer themselves. So they rely on the answer which AI is offering to them. We are not sure if this is going to stay the same in the future, but we know for sure that currently these lower number of clicks is happening because people are relying on the answers which AI is providing for them. So when we talk about visibility for AI, we have to understand that everyone can become visible for AI, but not everyone can make AI engines happy with the results that you are feeding them. That is very important to understand here. So when we say AI systems or AI agents are favoring websites that have some specific checkboxes, that is truly affecting compared to those that the AI systems dislike what they are getting from them as a feed. So let's understand these two differences. When we say what is the good structured data, we have to make sure the data is clear and structured. We have to make sure that there are enough technical signals. I'm going to talk more about the technical signals with you. We have to make sure that all of these information, it's clean, clear, and authoritative for AI agents. We have to make sure they are accurate, and they have to make sure that they are regularly updated. Why? Because agents, all the AI agents, they pay attention to these details. The website which is feeding for AI agents, but they are not keeping them happy, so they are not more visible compared to their own competitors. They have a very thin content. They have no technical signals for the AI agents. They have very vague messaging structure. They have a very poor structure on their overall content, and they have very outdated information. So the most important thing here to understand is AEO and GEO, same as SEO, is an ongoing process if you want to make sure that you are receiving the best result. It's not a one-time action. There are some one-time actions which we call as a technical foundation actions, but there are more ongoing actions towards this competitive market to make sure that the AI agents are going to provide details based on what you are feeding them correctly to the clients who are looking for that specific service, products, or any other information that they are looking for online. So we should understand that AI agents, they do not interpret websites like humans. So if you believe that you have a very good content on your website for your visitors and for the people who are coming to your website, that does not specifically means that your content is good enough for the AI agents, because they do not interact with your website in the same way that visitors are doing, or in the same way that we call as a human interaction with your website. So they rely heavily on the content structure, on the entities that we are giving to them, on the context which we are providing, on technical signals for them. They rely on the trust signals which they can gather on third-party tools on different platforms. Let's say Trustpilots, let's say Yelp, for example, let's say Google My Business reviews. So those are some trust signals which they are also relying on that. So that specific sentence, I believe it just give us the heads up to understand that the AEO is not going to work alone for the future. They are going to be dependent on the SEO as well. So please understand that these are two action items which they have to walk hand to hand if you want to get the best possible result when it comes to your organic growth. So let's talk more about AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. So we have to understand, first of all, what is AEO and what are the goals that this AEO has been even introduced to this internet market, correct? So we have to be sure that our website or our online presence is the source, possible good source for AI citations. So that means that the AI agent is supposed to be able to understand what we are saying, what we are doing, what we are promoting, all of those information. Plus, we have to provide direct answers. People are no more reading the content in a way to find answers. They look for the answers first, and then they read the content to understand what they need to know to support the answer that they just received. That has been the very big change when it comes to AEO and SEO. So we are mostly supposed to focus on FAQ or frequently asked questions content, which do the job easier for all the AI agents to understand the answer which people are looking for. But we have to make sure that we are doing it very clear and very correctly. Because if we are not doing it correctly, it's not going to help us. It might even damage you. And you have to be sure that what you're doing out there when you are promoting your website and your business for AI agents, because if you make the mistake, it might take a lot of time for the AR to crawl back again to your website, see that you fix those mistakes, and start to work on them and improve your visibility. So structured information, it has to be very clear for the AI. And today when it comes to AEO, today I really want to focus on what is FAQ and how it can be good and bad. So here I put two examples for you. What is poor FAQ example and which is going to be ignored or it's not going to show often by AI agents? And what is the perfect example of FAQ, which is going to be favored by all AI agents out there? Let's see. Here the question is very simple. What are the symptoms of diabetes? So when the person is searching the question or related topic to this question online, they are looking for specific things. They are asking about the symptoms of diabetes. So the first option, which is a very poor and bad quality FAQ, is saying that diabetes is a serious health condition. So it's saying to you what is diabetes, which was not part of the question. And it says that affect millions of people worldwide. So it's answering to you saying that where this is happening, which was not part of your question again. Our clinic has extensive experience helping patients manage diabetes and improve their overall health. So it's trying to sell you their services on a spot by answering the question in a very wrong method. So the person who searched for what are the symptoms of diabetes, they did not get the answer as AI did not get the answer. So AI will not show this result as much as you are providing it to AI to show. But what would be the perfect example? We should remember the question is the same, the way that we answer is different. So when we ask about the symptoms, the good answer would be common symptoms of diabetes may include. So first of all, we should always remember that you cannot answer questions straightforward with only one opportunity, one possibility, because it's not going to work that way. People may have different scenarios, and your answer may not be, like positive for them, or it might not be useful for them. So we should always be sure the way that we are talking because AI appreciates that. Okay. So we start with the keyword of common symptoms because the question comes with the what is the symptoms. So we are answering that question. May include, it means that these are not everything, but these are maybe the general items, or these are the most visited items for this specific topic. May include increased thirst, frequent urination, unexplained weight loss, fatigue, and blurred vision. So these are some general answers which directly goes to the question, symptoms of diabetes. And then you are going to provide a detailed answer. Detailed answer are for AI to analyze your answer and give you the information in a way that users grab more data from your answers in a way that they come to your website and they try to read more because they understand that the summary answer was useful, but in your detailed answer, you give them something new, and they might think that visiting this website might even give me more information, which can be useful and related to what I'm searching for. So diabetes can affect, it means that you are trying to cover the first answer with a little bit of more general information, and then still you are talking about the blood processed blood sugar, how the body process the blood sugar. Symptoms may develop because you talked about the symptoms. So now you're talking about how the symptoms might develop and so on. So this is how we consider creating a good feed for our AI when it comes to the AEO, or specifically answer engine optimization. The next topic is going to be about generative engine optimization, or what we call as GEO. It's a very new topic, and we have to understand that AI started with AEO, but now they move forward with the GEO because they figured that they can be very valuable tools for the people who are searching. So they focus more now on brand authority because they understand that their offerings, their answers to you may change how you're using the internet and how you are getting the service that you're looking for. So brand authority become very important. Entity recognition becomes very important. So AI can understand who you are, which industry you're coming from, what you are doing exactly, what are the services in your industry that you are offering, and with having those knowledge, they can promote other things for the user when they are searching. And of course, the consistency of the knowledge on your website, the external mentions that they see from your website, which we call as a trust signals. And we have to understand that the GEO is going to be the next evolution of SEO. We want it or no, as I explained to you, it's going to take over, and it's going to take over by majority and a very big percentage of user. So we have to be ready for that, and we have to make sure that our website is not going to basically stay hidden or fall apart when it comes to GEO and AEO combined together. So still, please do not get me wrong. This information is to help you understand how these systems are working, but it does not mean that you should forget about SEO, because SEO is going to be the first action to do to be even visible. Okay, so please understand that the technical SEO is still matters. So we have to still work on that. We have to still focus on that when it comes to our business, and make sure that we are not losing that part in the process of gaining something new. So once I said to you that we have to provide AI-friendly content, what makes a website AI ready, or what makes a website showing AI-friendly content? There are very essential components that are technical signals for AI agents to understand and be able to read what you're promoting to them. Structured schema markup, LLMS files and robots access, FAQs on your website, knowledge panels, organizational schema, author profiles, featured question and widgets, and of course, focusing on the location information, focusing on experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, which we call as EEAT. The last part was always online, available, and focused on when it comes to SEO as well. So this again shows us AEO is not going to replace SEO, but it's going to heavily affect SEO. Then we have to understand that everyone nowadays have access to very good free tools to evaluate even if they have any AI visibility. So one of the purpose of this meeting today, I want to explain to you guys that use the tools that you have, use the tools that you already have online or even using for your website SEO or analytics reports. So one of them is going to be the tool which we call as a Google Reach Result tool. It's a website which I provide here. And once you go to this website, you can provide the information of your website URL address, and then the tool itself is going to understand and check your website to show you if your website is visible online, if your website is having good technical steps, uh, kind of, like I can say kind of sit next to each other in a way that it's easy for everyone to understand it. And the next tool is going to be Google Analytics, which is specifically talking about GA4 or Google Analytics 4, because we have AI traffic analysis on GA4 and we have AI landing page analysis. So the traffic analysis identifies the visitors who are arriving to your website from different AI platforms, such as ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or any other platforms. But the AI landing page analysis is going to determine for you which pages AI users are visiting on your website with higher engagement, and it shows you where you have to focus more, what you can use as your benefit, and what you need to improve into other pages to become same as your leading landing pages on your website. Please make sure that you use these tools, and you can always get back to me if you have any question towards these items, these tools, how to use them, how to benefit from them. And even I put for you here that what are the steps that you have to take. For example, when you enter your Google Analytics account, you just need to go to reports, acquisition, traffic acquisition, and then session source, search for the AI agent like chatgpt.com. And then you will see all the visitors which they are arriving from different AI platforms, which in your search you, for example, entered chatgpt.com. For the second one also, it has the breadcrumbs for you, so you can understand exactly what are the steps, where to go one after each other. Made it very simple and easy for you guys. But as I said, I'm always here to help you out if you need any advice, if you need any help with that. So don't be shy. You can always reach out to us and we are going to take care of your questions. So when we talk about the reach result, I'm putting here for you two different examples. One example is showing to you on the left-hand side, which Google can detect 4 valid items, which also Google confirms that they can crawl. What are the valid items? It's articles, FAQ, local business, organization. So articles are the AI-friendly content which we were talking about. FAQs are the AEO friendly content that we were talking about. Local businesses are your business schema, which we were talking about. Organization is your professional organization schema, again, which we were talking about. So these are the most important contents which you should see it on your website if everything is working correctly. But on the right-hand side image, you can see, I hope it's on your right-hand side as well, but okay. On the right-hand side image, which you can see a red exclamation icon, you will see that the URL was not available to Google. The Google was not able to crawl, but you can see the Google figure out that there is a breadcrumbs there, and Google figure out that there are some videos provided there. But is this going to help you? No. Is this going to affect how you are being visible to AI? 100%. I can guarantee that the right-hand side results website is not visible by AI at all. So these are the examples that you can use the tools which I showed you here and make sure that what is the current situation of your website. And then if you see the image on the left-hand side, congratulations, you are in a very good stage. You can improve it, but you are in a good stage. If it's on the right-hand side, it's not good, but don't lose hope. It's still new. We are not talking about the SEO, which has more than 15 years of experience, more than 15 years of being in practice. So if there is something missing for your SEO, you have to kind of compete with 15 years of data. But now we are talking about a couple of years of being available online. So still it's not late, but if I were you, I would start today. And then let's start to understand that your website is going to speak two languages. You want it or no, you one language is for your visitors, which is the content you prepare, always so proud of it, always put your time and efforts to prepare those content, to keep them up to date because you care about your clients, but that is not the language that the AI is going to speak. So the other language is for the search engines and the AI systems. So we have to understand that visitors can see content, can see images, can see basically a structured information, but platforms like AI systems, AI agents, they rely on only provided technical support and structured information behind the scene to help them understand your business, services, your industry, your local area, your organizations, and so on. So without these technical signals, AI system, they will struggle even if you allow them to read your website, to engage with your website, but they will be struggling to get those information. And at the end of the day, they are like the people who are working for you or the same way that you are working in another company. If you struggle to get one information, you will try a couple of times, but then you will see that there is no way you can extract that information. So you will, at the end of the day, you will stop this struggle. You know what I mean? So we do not want that to happen for your AI engines when they are crawling your website and find the information. So to make it very simple, as I mentioned here, website that is easy and good and informative for people to read. It's not always easy, useful, good, and informative for AI to understand it. So we have to always go through this evaluation. I provided our company phone number and our company email address here. So we are more than happy to jump on a call with you free of charge and just do these audits for you to make you understand like where you are standing and what are the possible actions you can take to feel better when you are looking at your website and you're sure that the website is visible for the AI agents. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to ask you guys to start telling me if you have any basically questions so I can answer them specifically for your concerns, or even you can bring up the very, let's say, live example and ask me the challenge that you were facing or ask me the challenge that you are facing currently, and I would be more than happy to help you with that. Okay. So on your Zoom, you should be able to see a section which called Q&A. So please don't be shy. Type your question over there. I'll read it loud and I will try my best to get the answer which works for you. And also, even if you want, you feel like talking, then you can just raise a hand and I will give the mic to you so you can check for that. So Perfect. We have some questions here. The first one comes from Giancarlo. What are some expected results with AEO? Okay, that is one of the most heard questions from our client. Thank you for asking that. Okay, I want to answer this in a way that makes it much easier for you to understand it so you can know exactly what you should expect. When we are talking about AEO, we are talking about you being visible to people who are asking questions related to your business, not even exactly to your business. So, when I'm saying that, you should understand SEO works with keywords. It means that keyword is either available on your website and you are promoting it, so people search for that. Google show it to them based on your ranking. And if people decide, they will go to your website, read more, contact you, and become a client. But when we talk about AEO, the very positive scenario that we are facing is that you don't need to be specific about the keywords as long as the answer you are providing is accurate and relative to the questions they are asking. Because as we know, what makes AEO different with SEO is that on behalf of AEO, there is an AI engine, there is an AI agent over there. So that engine, with the help of that agent, is they are educating themselves in a way that they understand what are the information related together and what information is not going to be related. So what you can expect is getting more clients coming towards your services just because you were able to answer their questions. So always ask yourself like this. If you go and visit a doctor for your specific issue, if you ask them a question and the doctor cannot answer that, you do not trust that doctor, you do not work with that doctor, and you will not even spend your money in that clinic. Same thing happening online now. So if I ask a question for a specific service, specific location, and I'm looking for a specific result, if your website is giving me very good answer related to what I'm asking for, useful information, and providing the same service that I'm looking for, so why not become your client? So these are the expected results. We should expect to be visible. We should expect to get more clicks while we are having a stable impression and not losing the clicks in this matter. I hope this answers your question, but please, if there is any sub questions coming towards you, shoot and I'll take care of it for you. So Patrick is asking, tell me more about how we put together AEO content. Perfect. AEO content is SEO friendly and AEO friendly content, basically. So when we are creating those AEO content, we make sure that the content is good for the website visitors. So as long as we said website is speaking two languages, we always have to remember that we are talking two languages. So we make sure that we take care of the first language, which is giving the information to the client who are coming to your website to get that information they are looking for. And number two, we are going to make sure that language for AI is also there by providing featured snippets, by providing some highly asked questions widget, by providing an section for FAQ, and making sure that those questions are related to what we are saying in that page or in that content. And we make sure that FAQ part is not only covering the main topic of that page, but all possible channels of related contents to that. So when we are creating these contents, we are looking at it in these two different ways. So we draft the content in a way that people can read and get the all information they need, and we draft the content for AI to read it. But there is some part which is going to happen on the back end of your website, or what we call as a part which is visible to us, but not your visitors. Okay. On that part, we are going to talk AI language, more technical. we are going to focus on JSON files, which are the part of HTML language, which are the part of JS files, which are the part of all the technical 0 and 1 language, which AI agents can read easily, can read fast, and can understand it better rather than scanning your website for content itself, convert it to 0, 1. So what we do is we make sure that we give that feed to the AI agent upon their arrival to your website landing page. So this is how we make sure the AI content is fully optimized for both side of SEO and AEO together. I hope this answers your concerns, Patrick. Is there any other question that you guys might ask? I would be happy to hear. If anyone wants to talk, even to explain their question, please feel free and I would be more than happy to assist you. Okay, so just to give you an ease of mind, first of all, you are going to receive an email from me with the copy of the presentation slides that we had today on. And then also you are going to receive two very useful templates, which you can always use for your own website as a very complimentary gift from Let's Design for You team, which is going to be a template for your LLMS text file, and which is going to be another template for your organizational and business schema file. Those templates can help you a lot to understand what are the information which you need to provide and what are the information which you were missing up to now. And you can make sure in this way you are going to provide that to your website developer teams and to make sure that the website is going to be available for AI agents out there. And also, I'm going to ask you guys if anytime you want to talk or if anyone you want to discuss about their AEO concerns, about their website audit. So we would be more than happy to jump on a complimentary call to help you understand what is it that you're going through and what are the options in front of you, what are the solutions for those options, and what can be the best path for you going forward and moving forward with your website to make sure that it's a very AI friendly website. So that being said, thank you so much again for joining our webinar today. Please stay tuned. You can always visit our website and go to our event page. We are going to have more webinars coming up. And we hope that these webinars are going to help you out. If in the future you want to refer back to this webinar as well, we are going to share a recording of this webinar on our website, and you will be always welcome to check it out, use it as a reference, or let's say just refresh your memory about the topic that we spoke today. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a very pleasant rest of the day.